Today is a rather big day. Our first major European final. Yeah, it's the Conference League. I still want to win it against Genoa. And after this final game of the year, we are going to do a little bit of pre-season because there's going to be wheeling and dealing needed. We currently have a transfer budget of £5 million. There's very little wage budget to spend. The overall balance looks even worse than I remembered. And this is after we've got the prize money from the Premier League. And while the cruel reality is setting in that if I want to improve this team, I might have to sell some of our best players. And I might need to get some of these big boys off the wages. It is a massive episode today. Let's run the intro and get straight into things, shall we? Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back to the Journey Manager. It's episode number 63. It's taken a long time to get here, but after many, many seasons, the year is 2037, and we are playing, well, in a major European final. And when you look back through our career and the various bits that we've won, a Conference League, without a doubt, would be our biggest trophy win with respect to the Singaporean Premier League, the second division of Malaysia, the Bangladesh Premier League, which of course we won, the Iranian second division, and of course we did finish second in the top division of Iran. In Greece we finished second. In Saudi Arabia we won the Pro League. We've done quite a lot during this adventure so far. The Conference League would be the best though. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot what it's like to do a journeyman save game where you move through teams like we have and finally kind of reach a point in the save game where, well, without a doubt, we have one of the best clubs in the world. We've just finished second in the Premier League, but it really feels like we've earned our right to be here. And I suppose when it comes to this Conference League final, we march into it as favourites, so expectations are sky high. You may remember we did have one last league game to play since last episode against Manchester United. In this game, Soa picked up a brace. That goal for him there, the second of the game for us and his first of the game. Absolutely superb. A great 3-0 away win. So good. As you can see here, I actually forgot to make subs. I was just enjoying watching the game too much. With that result there, though, we have cemented our place second in the league. In fact, you can see here, we ended up finishing 5 points ahead of Arsenal, which is a really, really emphatic performance. Sadly, Tottenham, who you might remember we drew against right at the start of the season, we just couldn't catch. Of course, it is easy to forget that at the start of this season, we were really experimenting with the team. In fact, when we look at the first half of the season, down in 4th place with only 36 points from 19 games, we conceded 30 goals in 19. Let me show you the second half of the season where suddenly, well, we have the second best defence, only conceding 13 in 19 games. That is a really good defensive performance. And just as a reminder, the way by which we've achieved this is simply by dropping the defensive line down to standard. Yeah, who would have thought you don't have to play everything on super high pressing to be successful in Football Manager? Anyway, that is the Premier League nicely wrapped up. We've got the Conference League to kick things off today. Genoa, currently 6th in Serie A, a team relegated less than a decade ago from Serie A, and since then they've had a charge up the league. Their key man is Roberto Garcia. He's a good defensive mid. We are still massive favourites for this game. Now, in terms of team news for this game, I really wanted to play Soretti, who's been different gravy in the second half of the year. He has been one of our best players out on the left-hand side, but he did have a little injury. And whilst you can see here, it does say fitness test not required. His kind of overall condition level is just a bit scary. So instead, we are going to play Ivkovic out on the left, a player who's been very hit and miss this year. I'll be honest, given his extraordinary wages and his valuation, he is one of a few players who I'm pretty certain I'm at least going to try and cash in this summer. If you were wondering about the rest of our team, well, Marco is at the heart of the defence. Of course, he was one of the reasons we were able to beat Monaco last time. I like the fact he's got a good link with Hughes and McKellar, but McKellar and Hughes on opposite sides absolutely hate each other. He basically in the dressing room has to pass messages between the two players because they're not on speaking terms. And I mentioned the fact this guy grabbed 2 goals against Manchester United. Soa has been the disappointment of the season, if I'm being completely honest. A player who at 28 is world class. He was only signed, you can see here, for £27 million. An insane bargain of a transfer. I rate him as a player massively. I need to see him doing more, especially in big games like this one today. I don't want to come across like I have this divine right to expect to win this game today, but I feel like when you're in the Conference League as a Premier League team, you almost always dominate the Media Dream 11. You have one of the best teams in the competition, at least on paper. Obviously, I think we've shown that over the course of this year. One last job to be done. They're rocking a 4-4-2. It has been a tremendous first season in charge. I'm really happy with second in the league. Bit of a shame that we did have that rough first half of the season, because if we'd found our groove sooner, I think we maybe could have challenged Tottenham that little bit harder. But like I mentioned, in retrospect, that opening game of the season where we drew against Tottenham was actually a really good result on the road, and gives me, well, a little bit of a crumb of comfort, I suppose, that we can maybe challenge versus them next year. Naturally, this year, I rotated the team a lot in the Conference League. In the Champions League, I'd want to play the best 11 as much as possible. As well, Curtis had a chance there. The left wing-back probably shouldn't be the man shooting in the box. He tried. He failed miserably. Ivkovic to Soa. We're on the attack here. Jun Huan, so good, they named him twice. How many times have I said that this season? Far too many. Tick it off your bingo card if you had it. Balan heads it wide. He has to do better there. Having missed one opportunity, though, the resulting goal kick could give us another. Semeraro has Soa inside. The right wing-back, a little isolated, goes on his lonesome. Balan has another effort, this time blocked. We have created a ton inside this first 25 minutes, but not finding a breakthrough yet. Soa over a corner. Get it towards the near post. Marco, near post header. 7th of the season for him. That gives us the lead. I am going to raise question marks over the marking here. There was no one marking Marco, and that is just silly, isn't it? Hughes in possession, free kick. I tell you what, we're showing a degree of ruthlessness in this game. Ivkovic is in behind, goes round the keeper. The linesman's flag's raised. I saw it immediately. The linesman was going back to flag before the ball even hit the back of the net. The finish was superb round the goalie. It means nothing. The other benefit of being in the Conference League this year was we only actually had 6 league stage games. Of course, in the Champions League and Europa League, you play 8 matches, which I don't know how well my team is equipped to play those extra matches. I know 2 doesn't sound that many. I feel like it does make a difference over the course of the year, especially if you can't rotate things completely as much as we did this year in the Conference League. Going to tell the players just to go out there and prove that they are winners. I feel like this is not a game where we need to overcomplicate things. Give a little team talk, praise the players, get the green, happy, smiley faces, and just more of the same, please, in the second half. I mean, an hour played here. On the one hand, we're not creating that much, although we do have an XG of 2. They've not had a shot on target, I don't think, yet in this game. I'm going to change things up. Balan has missed some opportunities. I'm going to bring in Latal through the middle, I think, and actually move Juan to attacking midfielder on support. Elsewhere, I kind of want to make some more changes, but I don't know who to bring on. I could bring in Mark. It's 1-0. I can't bring in Mark yet. You know what? I'm going to play Soa through the middle, I think, here, and then bring Soretti in on the left-hand side. I know I said he's been injured, and I was a little bit worried about him, but I feel like in a game like this, I need his quality, and I need his ability to shine on the left-hand side. 15 minutes remain. It's still only a 1-goal game, so for as good as we've been, we're not over the line yet, and admittedly, you know, our only goal scored was from a corner. Does it count as a goal? Should it count as a goal? I consider it half a goal. Let's show that we're good from open play as well. Semeraro to the byline. Crowded out, but actually holding up the ball superbly. Whips it in back post to Soretti. What an assist that is. Semeraro, free transfer from Chelsea, might be my signing of the season, and that is saying something, because Jun Huan was I think a £2 million man. Who else we picked up? Balan was a free transfer, wasn't he? This team that is made up of scraps of players released has really come into its own. What a header by Soretti. Also, shout out to Football Manager letting my substitute score. It makes me look like a genius, doesn't it? It's 2 minutes left in this game. They've gone to a 4-2-4 to chase things. They've not had a shot on target in this game. There could be a misery compiler coming in as well. It's Jun Huan over the free kick. Football Manager's really going to allow us to bask in this free kick and enjoy him taking it for all the time wasting he's doing. Jun Huan steps up. Oh my word. Oh my word. That might be the last goal of the season we score. It's his 31st of the year. Take a bow. You don't see many direct free kicks scored in Football Manager. Jun Huan knows how to score them. That is stupendous. I can't even get my words out. 4 minutes of added time. I was about to say they've not had a shot on target. Don't ruin it in the last minute here. It's headed away. Imagine if we get another McKellar. Stop. They're already dead. The referee should just blow the whistle here. We are going to win the Conference League. We are going to do it in emphatic fashion. And I think if there's one thing we've learnt this year, it's that we are far too good for this competition. He was offside there. We're going to prevent them having a shot on target. That is that. And of course, European competitions have the custom trophy lift cutscene, which we love to see. My iconic manager green suit, perfectly matching the Conference League branding. It's like I'm a Conference League manager, and I always have been. Get the trophy, my friend. It is going to be Big Deli taking it. Our Regista stepping out in front of the players and hoisting it aloft. It is Newcastle 3, Genoa 0. This season, it's never really felt in doubt, has it? But nice to win some silverware in our first season in charge. I don't think we're going to be moving on from Newcastle, but if a job came up now, surely this adds to my credibility. I'm very happy with the way you lot played. What a way to cap off a season. Maybe a good way to just, boost the rep of certain players, put them in shop windows for teams with a bit more money than us to go out and, hopefully spend some money. United fans are proud. Look at that. We lift the Europa League. You love to see it. Semeraro, man of the match as well. Like I said, this guy might be my signing of the year. Free transfer, 10 assists in 37 games, 6 player of the matches in the league, another one in that Conference League final. Look at his form to end the season. He is absolutely stupendous. On paper, he's probably one of the players I should be looking to replace. I don't think I'm actually going to look for a right wing back next season. Of course, Conference League prize money and TV money, not great. Champions League money, though, next year, probably going to be a little bit tastier. And look at that. We are at the end of the season. There's nothing left to show me other than the fact that Diego Tofano is training superbly. Naturally, we're going to give this guy a load of praise. The board are absolutely delighted. We hit every single objective they gave us this year in terms of competition performances, which is absolutely great. We're at an A+, which you love to see as well. With the Conference League win, I think with the Conference League win at least, our reputation's gone up to 4 stars. It certainly wasn't that at the start of the season. And overall, when you look at what we achieved this year, I think we have to be pretty pleased. Yes, to lose against Man City and Tottenham in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup was maybe a little bit disappointing. But in terms of what we've achieved in the league and Conference League, kind of makes up for it. Okay, we do have the end of season review. Before I go wild selling players, let's look back at this season. And unsurprisingly, Jun Hwan, 31 goals, 12 assists for £1.1 million. John Book must literally feel like they've been scammed. Admittedly, he was running down his contract in South Korea, so we approached him on a free transfer, then just triggered a buy now option. What an insane buy he ended up being. Just as a reminder, Marcelo Munoz was the biggest signing of the summer. Admittedly, he was a player signed before I came in. £45 million spent on him. He was awful. Do I think I can get any of that money back? Maybe. No one wants him, though, and I can't really blame anyone for not wanting him. Now, you can see here, competition prize money, a massive rise on last year, which is really nice. It's been a long time in this save game since Newcastle played in the Champions League, and that is not insignificant because there is some really big money available for the Champions League. I'm going to hope between that and some smart sales, maybe trimming the wage budget some more, we are going to be in a position where this club is a little bit more sustainable. Looking here at the media kind of best 11 for the season, look at this. Everyone has above a 7.0 rating. That doesn't feel like that happens that much in FM. Jun Hwan absolutely dominating things here as well. As for myself, 2 Manager of the Months. Add them to my CV. Never noticed this before, but on the manager timeline, you can click in the trophy section here and kind of look through all the different trophies you've won and all the different awards you've won at different teams. Well, that's quite fun, isn't it? I've won a lot of Manager of the Years, I've just noticed across the years. Played over 2,000 hours of this game, still finding new screens. I hope that's not just me who just discovered that was a thing. Now, in terms of the aims for the upcoming season, I'm a little bit relieved to see the aim in the Premier League is just qualify for the Europa League. Granted, I'd love to get top 5 and get Champions League football every year from here on out, but I don't necessarily kind of view that as a surefire thing. You can note here as well, actionable objectives, sign players to sell for profit. That is something I think we're going to be enacting straight away this season. Told all the players that we're going to qualify for the Europa League. They've all stood up and clapped, and they can go all enjoy their summer holidays where, I'm going to be spending the next few weeks, I think, trying to get rid of players. I can choose where to go in a pre-season friendly. I'm going to Singapore. I'm going back to where we began this save game. Mark needs to go home for a little bit. Now, of course, the transfer window doesn't open until the 9th of June. I'm going to try and sell on some players, but I think we're realistically going to be working on this over the next few months. I want to leave things for today's episode with a little bit more money in the bank, both in terms of the overall balance, but also hopefully a little bit more transfer budget. So the next episode, hopefully we can make some actionable big signings. Just as a little reminder, we have already got Gary Ferre joining us on a free transfer, and alongside him, Matteo Vial is also joining us. So these 2 guys are 2 attacking midfielders joining us for free. I don't need as many attacking midfielders as I'll have once they arrive. It does mean that with this sea of unwanted players, I'm going to try and get some money for some attacking mids. Well, the transfer window is open. We are wheeling and dealing already. First sell confirmed for Kunda. I'll be honest, I kind of wish I was getting a bit more money for him, but he has departed for Leeds United for £19 million. Admittedly, he was a player signed on a free transfer before we arrived. Last year, 1 goal in 13 games. Just kind of happy to get him off the wages and get a little bit of money back. I was thinking we might have a little bit more money come the 9th of June, but as you can see here, Manning has rejected an offer from Hertha Berlin. It was actually an agreement over £50 million all up front. Very, very annoyed that he's turned that down. Admittedly, there are various other teams interested in him, so maybe one of those comes in. I would kind of like to get him sold, I think. I have kind of been doing some long-term thinking about the club and the wages and how the club is currently operating. And the reality is that players like Soa and Michela really are just kind of tying the team in a bit of a knot, if I'm being honest. Between them, they're on almost, £550,000 a week, including, obviously, appearance fees and stuff. It's probably comfortably over that. And whilst they are both great players in their own rights, they are kind of single-handedly ruining the finances of these clubs, just with their wages combined. I mean, last year we made a loss of about £90 million. Champions League money is going to come in. That might be around £60 million if you include TV and prize money. Their wages total, just the wages without any bonuses, about £25 million a year. I might try and sell them both. Like, that might sound absolutely wild. Of course, Soa has been playing as our inside forward on the right. You can see right now I've just got a gap there. The reason I've got a gap there is because, of course, I've already got the option who is probably going to play there next year. Gary Fourier is joining us from Marseille, the right attacking mid compared with Soa here. A little bit quicker, I'll admit. Overall package, maybe not quite as good, but actually, when you look at the head-to-head here, what he lacks in mentals, I think he more than makes up for in his technicals, and his physicals are really good as well. I look at the value of Soa and the fact there's interest. This might be controversial. I think I'm going to offer him out. He's 28 years old, and I just don't like the amount of money he's on. I think I'm going to offer out Scott McKellar as well, just to see what interest there might be in him. Obviously, he is an amazing centre-back yet again. The wages, though, just they are way, way too high. And to be honest, for £70 million, I don't know if I can say no to it. He was signed for £38 million a few years ago. I feel like there's probably adequate centre-backs out there that I could bring in. And if I get these two guys off the wages, it could be huge. Again, look, we're just exploring the market. It's early June. I don't think these guys are going to be happy about it. I just want to see if there's interest. Okay, well, maybe unsurprisingly, Michela and Soa are very unhappy I've offered them out. That is kind of to be expected. Admittedly, they are two players not as high in the hierarchy as you might expect. In fact, they're only in the highly influential category rather than team leaders. And whilst Mark has got an offer that's automatically been rejected, I have had some interest in both of them. Tottenham here are offering me some kind of nice money. He's got no interest in Tottenham right now. Can I persuade him maybe? You're not part of my plans. He doesn't want to give up without a fight. I'm saying this because I want what's best for you as a person. He says he doesn't want to go to Tottenham. I want to negotiate a bid with Tottenham. So they've offered £66 million initially. I'm going to get greedy here. His upper end estimate is £87 million. If I could get like £90 million for him, and I will take some of it in installments. If I could get like £30 million in installments and £60 million up front, I would probably take that. They weren't meant to accept that. Could I have got more money for him? I feel like that's a really good bit of business for us. Obviously, admittedly, I'm only going to get 40% of that fee as it comes in. So if the 60 million, we'll get 40%, which is £24 million. But because I'm freeing up over £200,000 on the wages, I can probably rejig some of that into the transfer budget too. Admittedly, he has said he's not leaving, so whether or not he's actually going to leave remains to be seen. Elsewhere, Michela has interest from Barcelona. Oh, I mean, he has no interest in mate, it's Barcelona. Surely you want to go to Barcelona. It's a fresh start for you. He's not unsettled. I'm saying this because I want what's best for you as a person. He's willing to talk to them. He's a bit more reasonable than Soa. There is also interest from Aston Villa. I have to assume he's not going to want to go to Aston Villa. I'll offer him out. Let's offer him out for £72 million. See if they pay his valuation. They're not really getting near. What about Barca? 72 million? Suggest 55. I'm going to play hardball here. 70. They've just bid. Accept that immediately. 70 million for McKellar. 90 million for Soa. It's 160 million pounds. I don't even know if they're definitely both going to go, but I kind of want to make them as unhappy as possible now so they do actually leave. This might be the first save game ever where I end up selling two of my key players and kind of arguably two of the best players in the team, but in my mind, it makes sense. Their wages are too high. I can get some really good money for them. And I think I've already proven with this team an ability to maneuver, get some fairly cheap players in and really get a lot out of them. For as good as McKellar is at centre-back, when you look at the actual ratings and the average ratings across the season, he is actually one of the lower-rated centre-backs. Admittedly, he does have 14 sub-appearances. That probably is dragging down the average a little. But for the quality he possesses, it's not necessarily transpired to crazy performances. And similarly, at attacking mid, don't get me wrong, Soa is a great player. There's plenty of other players that have contributed as much as him. I really wanted to sell him. Rafael Soa turned down the move to Tottenham. Oh, that 90 million would have been nice. McKellar, though, still happening, and I've got offers on Chris Manning. Chris Manning might finally leave. There's two bids here. One is 50 million in instalments, and one is from Lecce for 31 million all up front. Lecce, who I'll apologise to, I've not got the real name for Italian clubs set up. If we just look at their history, they got taken over by a tycoon. They have a load of money. Kind of hoping Manning will go. First potential transfer of the window, Fausto Sanchez from Man City. Contract expiring, free transfer. I feel like just bringing this guy in to be the backup regista could be a really sensible option. He is a well-rounded defensive mid. We do have some defensive mids in our team. Obviously, Marcelo Munoz is one player who was brought in for a lot of money. I think I might try and sell him now, because I don't think I need him at defensive mid if I get Sanchez in. And we're just waiting on the work permit. I am talking about Sanchez to delay the fact I have to acknowledge Scott McKellar and the fact I'm on the verge of selling him for 70 million. I hate being in the business of selling your best players in Football Manager, but his wages are just so high. And whilst he's an absolutely insane centre-back and I might live to regret it, I think for the long-term viability of the finance here at the club, he has got to go. I'm going to accept it. I know that's going to be controversial. Let me know what you think down below. Also, I realize Sanchez's thing here, work permit was actually rejected. We can appeal it. If not, pretty sure we can just give him an ESC slot. I actually hate Chris Manning. I actually hate him. Halfway through the season, he was complaining about wanting to leave. He's just turned down more moves. I mean, there's still transfer interest in him. Apparently he's been holding out for a move to Everton, who don't have the money to sign him. I really want to get him gone. He's just making me angry. I mean, there's all this interest being shown in my players. Big Deli, 67 million. Soretti for 60 million. They're not players I necessarily want to sell. Also, if you're wondering who's Nathan Griffith, sports scientist. Yeah, we're just improving our staff. Did try to sell Marcelo Munoz. No one made a bid for him. There is interest from Saudi Arabia. Can I ask his assistant? I can ask his agent. 32 million for him. You know what? Bring the offers in. I mean, obviously, if he gets sold for 32 million, considering he was bought for 45 million, it doesn't look like great business. But I think it kind of would be. Why are all the bids being made loans with optional future fees? I need the money now. Lease, Ren, this doesn't work. I knew it was far too good to be true. You know what? Let's try offering him out for 35 million. I know I asked for 32 before, but maybe we'll get a nibble. Apparently, we were the biggest overachievers last year, which kind of reinforces in my mind, whilst it might feel like the Premier League title is within our grasp, that is equally something that we overachieved to get close to. And I don't necessarily think with the current squad and the current setup, I can actually win the league. What I will say is when you look at all these signings of the seasons, it feels quite nice, especially when you see the free transfers of Balan and Semeraro up here. We made really good deals. I'm going to hope that this coming year, if we look at transfers in, Gary Faye here kind of joins the ranks of amazing free transfers we've pulled off. Okay, new season tick-over date. We are expected to qualify for the Europa League. If we look at the league table, it's all reset. Season preview. Currently favourites to finish 6th. Villa are up in 3rd. Fair play to Aston Villa. Also, we currently have no players in the Media Dream 11, which does make me feel a bit sad. I mean, right now there are no transfers out. There is Sanchez potentially coming in on a free transfer. If we just look at the overall finances of the club, we've got a transfer budget of £41 million. Obviously, Faye is going to slot in at right attacking mid. For now, Sauer is still in our ranks. This would be the team to start the coming year. Lack a bit of depth at centre-back with the departure of McKellar. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy with where the rest of the team is at, which is nice. The current first team size is 25 players. There's definitely too many attacking midfielders. It's a case of which can I cash in on? I kind of would like to get rid of Sauer just because of the wages, but yeah, I don't know. It's a case of who can I actually get bids on. I think in terms of today's episode, this is a fairly logical point to draw a line in the sand under things. Tomorrow, let's go buying players. Let me know what you think of the sale of McKenna. What do you think of the potential selling of Soa? Am I losing my mind? Does it make sense? I'd be interested to know your thoughts down below. Tomorrow we will have a transfer special and we'll also endeavour to do the first game of the season. It's in the Premier League. It's against Leeds United. I'd like to think we beat them. It's a little bit easier than last year's game to open the year against Tottenham. If nothing else, going into the new year, the overall balance, I think, is the best it's ever been since I arrived at the club. We have never had this much money in the bank. Admittedly, it's still minus £9 million. But that is still good in my eyes. Tomorrow, a transfer special awaits. Hope to see you guys for that one. Appreciate you watching as always. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.